Good morning and welcome to this morning broadcast for motivation, inspiration, and conversation for your day ahead. I'm MJ Lifestylist coming to you from my home and studio in Bournemouth in the UK. And today, as with every other day in the morning, we would love for you to pop up on screen the 3 things that you are grateful for. What 3 things are you grateful for this morning? While we're waiting for people to join in, we are just going to try and shuffle these cards. We're going to try and share our broadcast. So what 3 things are you grateful for this morning? That's the first thing. And secondly, what do you want to talk about today? Let's chat. What do we want to chat about today? What would we like to chat about today? We are open to your suggestions. What would you like to chat about today? So welcome. Thank you for being here. We are going to start in just 1 minute. I am literally just trying to do what I said I was going to do and share our broadcast all over the place, really. Share it as much as we can to get as many people involved as we can. Sharing that, write a post. How was your weekend? What did you get up to? And let's hear all about it. There we go. That's done. So, good morning. How are we all? Sue Venus is here. Hey, Sue. How are you? I can see that on my other... No, let's not do that. Cool. Morning, sunshine, says Victoria Martinez. Morning, Victoria. Thank you so much for letting me know about that last night. Again, we had a troll last night who was trying to piggyback on the back of my hard work, genuinely. I mean, it takes work to build up an audience. It takes work to bring people in. It takes a certain amount of skill to keep people watching you, and keep people coming back. And these other individuals, I'm going to be polite, these other individuals are finding a broadcast, latching onto it, and basically they have a ready-made audience. So they can just wander down the list and try and get business from everyone, which I think is really, really wrong. I think it's really wrong. As you can see, I haven't put my green screen on today. I haven't put my background on because I'd like to start showing you guys the cards. So for the spiritual broadcasts, instead of that beautiful rainbow background, I am going to do this. Or maybe what we'll do is we'll start off with the rainbow background, and then when we get ready to do cards, we will turn it off so that you can all see the cards nicely. So for those of you that are here watching this morning, don't forget, morning broadcasts, we do motivation, inspiration, and conversation for your day ahead. And conversation requires you to also contribute with some conversation. So what did we do this weekend? What did we get up to? Have any of us planned anything good for this week? What is going on in your world? And while you're thinking about that, and while you're thinking about the 3 things that you're grateful for that you're going to share on screen, type up the 3 things that you're grateful for and share it on screen. Oh, it's very early in the morning. Our first card for this morning, for everyone that's here. So if you're here and you're watching, this is for you. Ride the Wave, card 14, Ride the Wave. 14 comes to a 5. It's the same number as the numerology for this year. Ride the Wave, you've got 2 dolphins here and a fairy on top of one of the dolphins, and they are obviously going with the flow. So first and foremost, going with the flow, going with the wave, riding the wave are all indicated here. It's also an indication of the idea that usually when things happen, especially when they're things that are not so nice for us, we try and alter them, we try and micromanage them, we try and stop them. And whilst that is a natural reaction, it's also not perhaps the best way to deal with things, because when we try to do that, we actually prolong the negative activity. So if it's maybe a bad time in our lives, or it's not very nice and people are trying to avoid it, they will try and speed through it. And what we need to do really is we need to ride the wave. So go through the process, because if you actually try not to stop it, what we resist persists. So whatever we try and resist will keep going. If we kind of put our hands up and go, do you know what? It might be a bad period in my life at the moment and things are going a bit down and I'm feeling down and all of that. What will happen is that Spirit, the universe, will speed through that and you'll come out the other side far quicker. When we try to stop things or alter them or control them, that's when things get stuck. When we allow things to happen naturally and allow things to flow naturally and allow things to occur naturally, we actually give access to it happening a lot sooner, a lot quicker, and we come out the other side better, more unscathed than what we would have before. Morning, Claire. Morning, Jenny. How are you this morning, both of you? So pop up on screen the 3 things you're grateful for. I'm going to pick another card, but basically ride the wave as an indicator of go with the flow. Whatever's happening in your life right now, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, allow it to happen, allow it to occur, and just see how far it goes and see how far it pulls you out on the other side. I see Angela Rich Bowles is here. Karen is here. Hey, Karen. Karen Mulvihill. Morning. So whatever we resist persists. What we think about, we bring about. So going with the flow is really an indicator of just allowing things to happen, allowing things to occur, because they're there for a reason. You're meant to learn a lesson, or you're meant to, have an epiphany about something. So allow it. Just allow it, and try not to control it. Try not to micromanage it, and see how that works for you. Field of Dreams, 21. 21 comes to a 3. 2 and 1 is 3. And Field of Dreams is all about kind of, there's lots of eggs here, and there's these fairies sitting on the eggs, and then you've got butterflies above. They look like birds, but they're actually green butterflies. So Field of Dreams is really an idea of, like they say, putting all your eggs in one basket. It's like sort of collating things. You've got the world is your oyster. You've got so much to offer. You've got so much going on around you. Why not get them all into one place? Create a field of dreams. And it can be as big or as small as you want it to, because at the end of the day, it's your field. It's your dreams. You have no limitations. So dream big. Dream big. Grow, learn, thrive, flourish. Thrive and flourish. Very early in the morning to be enunciating. Morning, Shelly-Ann. How are you? Shelly-Ann and Karen both attended. Oh, here we go. So glad the card workshop was amazing. What blew my mind was the message I got, like one woman in the group thinking that time was running out at a particular age. Yes, absolutely. I couldn't have known it, but saw it in the cards. Wow. I don't know if you've said psychics or physics, explained, divine connection. Nothing but nothing will ever separate you both. So proud of you and your heart connection. Much love. Thank you, Karen. I love the fact that all of you did really, really well. There were five attendees on our workshop on Saturday, and I did say to them, so I can say now, I wasn't sure how it was going to work, because when I usually teach the workshop, guys, I teach live. So people come to my home, in an ideal situation, or originally to my shop, and I have lots of decks of oracle cards, and I teach the theory and I show them what I do or how they can access information. And then usually, like speed dating, I put people in pairs and they do a quick read for each other with a brand new deck that they've chosen from the piles that I have, because I have about 60 decks of cards. And then what happens is, after about 10 minutes, I usually swap people over and they have to use a fresh pack. So there's a lot of practical built into the day, and that's why the day is usually much longer as well, because you end up reading like 12 different decks of cards. It gives you lots of practice, it gives you lots of variety. And unfortunately, because we're online, that wasn't possible, but we still got through the theory and we still managed to do readings for each other, and it worked really well. So I'm going to set up another workshop, because there are quite a few people that wanted to attend last workshop but didn't. So if my students from Saturday would like to leave me a little review on the MJ Lifestylist page or in the event itself, then I will, with your permission, use your quoted reviews as statements for the next workshop. I'm good, thanks. Grateful for my home, signs of spring, and my cuppa. We've got signs of spring outside our front door. Like I said to you guys before, we had what would they be? Autumn flowers planted outside our front door, either side in our little plant pots. And those obviously went over just before winter, so we took them out, and we just had these 2 empty plant pots. And now we have got something popping up, and I seem to think we might have planted bulbs underneath our autumn flowers. So it's quite exciting because we can't remember what we planted in our little plant pots either side of our door. Also grateful for my interiors, particularly colourful paintings. That would actually, so let's talk about that. For those of us that are at home at the moment and feeling not great, the fact is, if you surround yourself with beautiful things, so lots of colour, vibrancy, flowers. Andrew, bless him, bought me a gorgeous bunch of flowers last week to commemorate my grandmother's passing, which was 11 years last week. And I obviously couldn't go to her grave, which is just up the road in a church ground. Her ashes are interred there. And I couldn't go. My aunt went, my grandmother's daughter, she went, but I couldn't go because I can't leave the flat. And so Andrew, bless him, thought that if I couldn't go there, he would bring me flowers and we could have them at home to commemorate her, which was a lovely thing for him to do. And they have all started to open. Just the tulips have to open now. But there's such a beautiful array of what would be spring blossoms that are on our lounge table at the moment. So lots of colour, lots of vibrancy will really help to lift your mood. Especially in these days that are a bit overcast and dull. Grateful for the bird song this morning. Absolutely. Having a good night's sleep and music to listen to. Music is another thing. Music will definitely lift you. Music will make you feel better. Grateful for strength, being supportive and positive for my friends. Grateful for everything. Absolutely. Why can we not be grateful for everything? Good, bad, or indifferent? Thank you, Shelly Ann, for that. Would love to do the card workshop next time, hopefully. Yeah, I'm planning to kind of host it again at the end of this month. So it'll be like the 27th of Feb. I want to see if I can do it for then, 27th of February. Yes. Right, let's pick another card. So who is here that hasn't shared their 3 things that they're grateful for? Ooh, who is online that hasn't popped up online? What 3 things are you grateful for today? Has anyone got anything planned for this week? Anything exciting coming up? We would love to hear about it. What exciting things do you have coming up in your world right now? Let's hear about it. Let's hear all about it. Amazing. There we go. I'm busy shuffling like the clappers at the moment because I want to get a nice fresh card for everyone. Oh, okay. All right. So it's the card that's meant to be, so we're going to have to use it. Wishing well. I pulled a face because I pulled this twice last night. Jenny says, I've ordered daffodils with my shopping. Click and collect. Oh, amazing. I love daffs. The wood pigeons are cooing. Spring has sprung. So 48, 4 and 8 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, wishing well. Here you have a well filled with gold and treasure and all of it sort of coming up out of the well. There's a lady next door to it. There's actually like a little fairy next to it that I've just seen. And lots of little spring daisies that I've just noticed as well. And there are butterflies above it. Interesting. Things that you don't notice. She's also got lilies. Oh, Shelly Ann, you'd love that. There's lilies painted onto her dress. I don't know how to get this into focus. There's gorgeous lilies painted going up her dress. Things that I haven't always noticed before. Now, wishing well is about putting all your things in one place, all your wishes in one place. I usually say to people, write a list or create a visual, create a board so that you can see at a glance all the things that you want to bring into your world, all your wishes. And those don't have to be physical things. For me, I want to bring more joy into my world, more joy. So I want to bring joy in. So why would that be a physical thing? Because it's not. More joy, more happiness, more peace and contentment, really, I suppose. Better sleep would be great. So my wish list isn't like with all of us. Our wish list doesn't have to be physical things or monetary things. It can be simple things that you want to attract more of into your world. And that's amazing. That's really amazing. Okay? So with wishing well, it's this idea of bringing all these things that you want into one place. And my mom always says that God sees to your needs, not to your wants. But it's that idea of the things that you want to attract, bring them together. And the things that you need would probably be supplied first and foremost. So if you need more joy, or if you need better sleep, that might move to the top of the queue with spirit or with the universe. The universe will do that. They will decide, the universe will decide what is needed best at this time and move into action. And they'll kick things into action in a very positive way and affirming way once you have a firm idea of what you want. Most of the time we don't get what we want because we're not sure about it. But as soon as you are solid in what you want, what you believe, what you need, that's when the universe will spring in to support you. My children, my husband, and my little baking business. I like that. How many days now, Terry Ann? Benson arrives at our home on Sunday. Exciting. Oh, it's a new puppy. Morning, Han and Bella. Grateful for dry weather, a warm home, and going to work. I don't know about grateful for going to work, but I can understand that it gives you a change of scenery. That'd be good. Yeah. Yes, you pulled this card for me last night. I always have lilies in my lounge. Yes, I saw. Amazing, Shelley-Ann. Amazing synchronicities, aren't they? Our next card is Strength. Now, I love this card. I did pull it last night as well for somebody. It's card 44. First of all, 44 is an angel number because it's two digits of the same. So 4 and 4. So that is guarding, guiding, looking after us, protecting us, etc. And then Strength. She is stronger than she believes herself to be. Also with this card, if you did reduce it, that would come to an 8. An 8 is August. An 8 is infinity on its side. We'll come back to the August. 8 is infinity on its side. So an 8 does a loop like that. Okay? Infinity symbol. Prosperity, abundance. How do you feel about prosperity and abundance? Right? Which ties in with wishing well, actually. But an 8 is August as well. And August is the month of Leo. And Leo is the symbol of strength. So often in cards in the tarot and oracle cards, when people talk about a strength card, they have Leo. And this card is called Strength. But here this woman is stepping from winter into spring. So there's winter all around the bottom of her. You can see all the frozen stuff and the dew and the frost. But she's got like a spring garland on her head, and she's carrying the world like a tray of hors d'oeuvres. The world is her oyster. We're all stronger than we believe ourselves to be. We have an inner strength that speaks. And it's really, really important to listen when your inner strength speaks and matches you up. So really, really, really important, really, really good right now to know and to understand that you're stronger than you believe yourself to be. Isn't that great? I think it's great. What do you think? What do you think? Let us know. What do you think? Let us know. So, Tyrion says 11 weeks, 77 days are amazing. I'm looking forward to it for you. Your cards are all poignant today. Thank you, my darling. You're also Leo? Oh, I didn't know that. Pulled it for me last night. Oh. All of us are having deja vu because we're having memories of last night. We're kind of like, this happened before. Oh, this news just in. I eventually managed to finish calculating my tax return. I finished calculating it at about 9:30. And you know, it took me an hour to file it because they ask you 4 million questions. Like, you go into your thing, your window, your whatever it's called, and then they ask you initial questions like your date of birth and stuff, right? So date of birth, your marital situation, etc., etc. And they say on the form, on the computer, that this is done so that they can filter you correctly and you only have to fill in certain sections. And I'm thinking, brilliant, it's going to just fast track everything. And I have done it before. This isn't the first time I've done my tax return. And PS, I will be in April when we're allowed to start filing our next tax return. I'll be doing it in April, not on the last night again, ever. But they tell you can calculate it and they tell you can send it. And I'm like, cool, great, let's do that, right? But then they ask you all sorts of questions in the middle of the tax return about, are you retired and this and that? And I mean, I'm 43. Now, I understand you could be medically retired because of some situation or whatever, but like, surely to God, that pre-section helps to cancel out any redundant questions that they need to ask you. So I had to wade through this whole form. And I'm very sure that last year, all I had to do was fill in how much money came in and how much money went out. Do you think I could find that? No. So it took me a whole hour to navigate through this with my glass of lemon water and the thought of my celebratory drink afterwards. I don't drink a lot, but I was really looking forward to my wine last night. And I thought, you know what? I've got to do this first and then I can have my wine. So my wine was definitely a beacon at the end of the tunnel, but an hour, no. So I'm going to, while I'm in the mood, I'm going to now start calculating from April last year up until today. And then I'll just add on February, March, and a little bit of April. And as soon as we're allowed to file for this current year, I am filing. I'm not waiting until the 31st of January next year to do what I had to do last night, because it was nerve-wracking. It was 10:30 before I got the confirmation saying, you have now filed your claim. Which was like, oh, because I only had till midnight. Naughty me, I know, but it was just a lot to deal with. Morning, MJ. Today I'm grateful that it is the first of the month. Yes, it is. The sun is shining and you. Thank you, my darling. Yeah, you did it. Yes, I did. Tony Fleming, I think your daughter is just too gorgeous. I think Mia is just too gorgeous. And I was so sad last night because ethically, I won't do readings for anybody that's under 18. I will not. I don't read for family. I don't read for family. I don't read for anyone under 18, and I won't read for people if I've had a drink. So I don't mix spirits and spirit. So I don't read if I've been drinking, or I won't read if I've had a drink. I won't read if they're under 18, and I won't read for family. Those are my 3 big rules. Big rules. And I will also, at my discretion, refuse to read for someone if they are inebriated or intoxicated or difficult or whatever. I'd rather stop a reading, stop it and pull away, than continue to read for them and risk them misinterpreting what I've said. So I have a very strong set of rules, but Mia could have been a stroppy teenager and kind of done what teenagers sometimes can do, and she literally was like, oh, okay, that's fine, I'll still support you anyway. And she still watched the whole show until the end, which I think is a credit to you, Tony. That's a credit to her upbringing. It's a credit to her upbringing, and you must be doing a fantastic job as a parent, because she didn't have to be like that. She could have got all really nasty with me and gone, oh, well, I'm blah, 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 as teenagers sometimes can do. But she literally took it in her stride, and I said to her, she can ask you for a reading because you will set up your own rules. And there's no harm in you pulling a card for her. The reason I don't read for under 18s is that they can take things to be literal. And so if you say to an under 18-year-old, let's say 14, like your daughter Mia is, if you say to them, oh, you're gonna You're going to really excel at something that you're doing right now. Some teenagers will kind of go, oh, okay, I'm going to get an A for this test, so I don't have to study. And then when they don't get the A for the test, they'll be like, oh, but you said I was going to excel. It's a silly example, but it is an example. So I don't read for under 18s because I don't believe that they can process what's being said to them in a rational way. So that's why I don't do it, and I won't do it. But you're welcome to pull a card for her, or let her pull a card for herself. Take the notes that you had and guide her. You'd be surprised at how much you remember. And it's something that the two of you could do together if she's interested, because I don't want to stop someone who's interested. It's just that ethically I cannot do it, but there's nothing stopping you from doing it if you feel it's appropriate, because you're the parent. Thank you so much. I totally appreciate that. I could see that you were genuinely sorry. She is still your big... Oh, bless her. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Totally makes sense. I thought that myself. Bless her, and thanks again. She's very polite and genuine. She is, absolutely. I love it when children are like that. I love it when children are polite and gracious and thankful. You know, I like that. I like when children have had a strong foundation from their parents. Bearing in mind, guys, I've been an uncle since I was 8 years old. So my oldest niece is now 35 this year. Her two daughters are both born on the same day, 6 years apart, via cesarean, on my grandmother's birthday. So they're great grandmother's birthday, which is just really weird. But they both are my goddaughters. And I have 4 godchildren, 3 great nephews and nieces, and 8 nephews and nieces. So although I don't have children of my own, I spent a great portion of my life, 35 years, being an uncle, and worked at a school for 11 years, had my own modeling agency with 80 models in it, age 3 and up, had my own theatre company, continue to work with children here in the UK. So it's just, manners and being polite and, knowing when children are required to speak and when children are not required to speak are very big pillars for me. They're very big building blocks for the adult that you become, based on how you experience your childhood and how you're taught and the morals and ethics and things that you learn. Those are the building blocks for the kind of adult that you become. So Tony, big up to you, big credit to you. Yes, she's interested indeed, and that's a good plan. Yeah, you are absolutely entitled to share with her to help her grow. It's just that I wouldn't professionally do it, and I would be irresponsible if I drop my ethics for a gorgeous person like me. Manners cost nothing, absolutely, and all children should be able to express themselves, but be aware of the limits. I always say to her, I am here to guide you, not to control you. That is phenomenal, Tony. Absolutely grateful for meeting a friend later. Yay! After several days at home, to see the snowdrops and daffodils that are appearing really quickly. Oh, please take a photo for me, Sue. At Kingston Lacey, just 3 miles away. Also following last night's card you drew for me. Amazing! That's stunning. And Lisa says, good morning. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Here's hoping you are well, Lisa. Last card for the day, guys. It's a green card. It's listening. So here we have an elephant. We have 2 robins, one on the tusks and one on the head. And you can see there's music notes between them. I always say this card comes along when there are 2 people in your life that you can definitely count on, definitely can take the advice from, can give advice to, etc., etc. There's a listening thing going on. Hearing is passive, listening is active. It's also card 53, which comes to an 8. But before we get to the 8, obviously behind the elephant, you can see there is lots of green, and the elephant itself is like a grey-green color. And so we say with this card always that green is your heart chakra. It's nature, nurture, and healing. It is the essence that makes us up, really. It's your public heart. It's what you give to others. But the 53-8 on its side is the infinity symbol. The infinity symbol is all about prosperity and abundance. Okay, prosperity and abundance. Prosperous and abundant. Why? This doesn't mean money. Again, it's about what you hold nearest and dearest. Money doesn't make a difference in my world. It flows. It comes in and it goes out. You know, it's nice to have money. It's nice to be able to pay for things. It's nice to be able to purchase things. But there is a flow. It's fluid. Money you can't take it with you. You can't take it with you. Memories are priceless. The people you have in your life and hold nearest and dearest are priceless. And it's all about just realizing what it is that you bring to this world, but what it is that you take from this world as well. And that needs to be in balance. So prosperity and abundance for me involves being healthy, happy, sane, sorted, and really attracting the people that are meant to be in my life at that point. So if anything that I've said today has resonated with you, if you'd like to get in touch with me, please do so. I'm more than happy to chat to anyone at any point. It is entirely up to you. I have set aside the 10:30 onwards slot, so after this broadcast I am having coffee with someone this morning. So if anyone wants to have a private chat or just a video catch-up, maybe you haven't had that with anyone for a while, I am more than happy to be here for you. And in a weird way, you would probably, at the right day, at the right time, you would probably be there for me too. So please do take care of yourself and each other. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup, and we're all doing the best we can with the tools that we've got. Until we see you again next time, be blessed, have a fantastic day ahead, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow, if you can join us. Lots of love. Namaste.